welcome to a Gump Report. You never know what you're going to get. This is Macho Man Randy Savage. I've done this now 3 times. Due to the fact I botched so bad in the first 2, I have to do it again. I hate when I botch. I hate it. I botch if I spit, because my teeth are all messed up because of my wisdom teeth. I botch because my throat is all messed up because it's almost 70 degrees outside. The plants are confused, and I have allergies all year round, along with dust that's been produced because of construction from my building. It's not been fun. But you never know what you're going to get on this damn show and this. And if I botch again, I'm not stopping. Even if spit comes out of my mouth in a big wad like it did in the last video, which I'm going like, motherfucker, gotta do this again? This is what you're going to get this time. I ain't stopping the camera. This is about Tony Khan purchasing ROH. And I've said this now twice, so I'm going to make this very short. ROH has been purchased. Vince said, well, they said Vince tried to buy it. That's bullshit. It's not been 100% true. If he looked at it, does not mean he was trying to 100% buy it, due to the fact that he wanted to just mess with people. Look at NXT. NXT is ROH and the Attitude Era having a baby due to the fact of Paul Levesque. If it was supposedly purchased, why did he destroy it? He didn't give a damn about ROH. That was just to mess with people. Trust me. He wasn't trying to really purchase it. He was trying to make buzz for WWE. About the same impact. Look, that's what this is all about. Buzz. Right now, Tony has bought a Ring of Honor. Now, I want to make this very clear and listen. Listen what I'm saying, baby. I know everyone is excited. How is ROH going to be? What is it going to be like? Is it going to be another extension? Is it going to be this? Let's boil this down to what it really is. Ring of Honor is dead. I say this again. Ring of Honor wrestling is dead. It's dead. Now, Ring of Honor, the purchase and the new extension of AEW lives. So no matter what you think now, saying that this is going to be incredible, that we're going to get the same Ring of Honor, bullshit. You're never going to get the same Ring of Honor ever again. It's different now. Because there's no way they're going to run it exactly the same as it was from 2002 until a couple of months ago. That's bullshit. And if you believe that, I got a bridge all the way in Tampa, Florida that says the Brooklyn Bridge on it. I'll sell it to you for about $5 million. Can I have my money? That's the truth. Because no matter what anyone says, I know JD talked about it. I know just Alex talked about it. They're excited to see where this is going. But I see it as it is. We now have it purchased by another company that is going to use it the way they believe it's right. Not the way it used to be run. Look at NXT 2.0. When NXT originally went from the network to USA, many people believed it was about to be great, but I knew, like a few people did, that the minute that NXT went on TV regularly, that was all Vince's decision. It was not Paul's. It was Vince's. And Vince's decision also meant Vince being in total control of it. It doesn't make a difference what you think about Paul Levesque being in charge. He was not. He was following his orders. You could see it for almost a year and a half how NXT was being run and booked. It was no longer NXT because it was taken over from Paul to Vince. Vince took total charge of it and told Paul what the frick to do, and his creative team. So don't tell me that that was Paul's control. It was not. What do you get here in ROH? The same thing. The original owner of Ring of Honor, he may be allowed to stick around. Maybe. He might stick around because he may still love the company. And even though it's absorbed into something else, he may want to stick around, not just to get a good paycheck, but to try and make sure the thing runs at least as close as possible to where his original vision is. But no matter what the fuck he thinks, no matter what the fuck you think, Tony makes the final call on everything AEW, now ROH. Is it going to be using similar dancing styles? In other words, wrestling, as they're going to be dancing in a ring and doing what Tony says? Maybe. Will it be a developmental? It doesn't matter. Understand something. Whether this is going to be a developmental, another brand, there's a few people that said maybe it could become its own brand, be ROH brand, and you could still leave pretty much excuse me, allergies. You could still leave Rampage as 1 hour, but let ROH be the second brand of Dynamite. You have Dynamite, ROH, which is like SmackDown, and then you have Rampage, which would be like an NXT. It could be like that, the way it was originally run at 1 hour that Paul originally wanted. Maybe you might get that. But it's not the point if that's what you want or not. The point is that's what Tony is going to want. ROH may never have any true wrestlers that are important on it ever again. And even though they're talking about the rumors that some of the roster that has not been released, remember, the way they work on AEW, you got the multi-year contracts, then you got contracts that last maybe 6 months, and then there's just people coming in just to get paid, just to be seen. So you could have some of the people that have 6-month contracts may end up on ROH. Does not mean they're going to stay on ROH. They may stay there for only 6 months. Or, better yet, they may just send the people who is the lowest tier, who are just being allowed to come in and get paid for a taping, and that's all you get. And if that's the way it runs, and people don't like it, guess what? Tough titty. That's what you're going to get. Now, the way I'm talking now, many people are going to say, dude, you sound so angry about this. No. I'm glad ROH has been purchased. If it was going to be gone permanently, let's say that the guy who run the entire ownership of it just could never bring it back. Knowing that it still exists, it's good. It's glad to see that the remnant of it, and I'm saying remnant of ROH, still exists. The way it was run will never be the same again. No matter if they do almost near 100%, it's still not going to be 100% because the original owner will not be the one who's going to be 100% in control of creative of the entire brand itself, if it's going to be a brand. Because it's going to be Tony. And even if Tony says, you know what, to that guy, you can run it any way you want. Let's say the original owner is allowed to stay on, and he says, I'm going to find you a network on Turner, and you can run it any way you like. No matter even if he does that, it's still not 100% because that guy who's running it still reports to Tony. Repeat, he still reports to Tony. And Tony can change his mind at any time to have something changed, rearranged, or added. That's what this comes down to. 100%. ROH is dead. The remnant of ROH has been purchased, and now everyone is speculating what's going to happen. Honestly, I would rather not do this speculation. I didn't even want to do this video. That's one of the reasons why I was waiting so long to do it. Because I would have had this done Thursday afternoon. But when I really thought about it, I knew I had to listen more to what everyone else said. But then I really didn't want to say anything because this is too much speculation. Look, guys. As amazing as this is for many people, this does show there's still a major problem in pro wrestling. Honestly, we still have a problem that hype and growth of pro wrestling is still not there. As much as AEW is obviously becoming now the second major brand in the United States. Because I know people want to say, well, it is the second major brand. Look, no matter what you said, you had Impact Wrestling, you had WWE, Impact Wrestling, which is a distant second, ROH, which was a distant third, near fourth with MLW. The moment that AEW came in, it was questioned, will it be the number 2 brand? And everyone kept saying it's number 2. But in actuality, until it found its feet, it wasn't number 2. It was Impact Wrestling. No matter if you think, just like I've been saying for years, that Impact has some major problems when it comes to management. It does. Look what happened with Sacrifice. I say it again. Sacrifice was a bad show. Not because the wrestlers couldn't wrestle. Not because the storylines were all 100% trash. It wasn't 100% trash to every storyline. Some were good, some somewhere in between, some that should have been reworked, and some that maybe one or two that was really a bad decision. It was the production value of the lighting was bad for interviews, the audio was bad for interviews, or the camera work. And I've seen the comments that came from my Sacrifice review. Many people say it was fine. It was all right. Yeah, the camera work was a little annoying, but it was a fine show. Really? When half the show you can't see it, that means that's a fail. No matter what you guys think. And I'm saying this as someone who's reviewing this. As someone who's home. And as I said before, the majority of the people that used to go for wrestling have to do it at home because of restrictions like COVID-19 and due to the fact that streaming has now become more popular. You must consider that the more broader audience, not the ones that are in the arena who could see everything easily, counting on what seats they got, it's going to be people like us. You're looking at me in the screen. How would you feel if you could only see this? Or this? How would you feel? You wouldn't feel interested in watching, particularly if there's more going on. When you looked at this Revolution, and I gotta say this with Gettysburg gave it a 3 out of 10. I understand he doesn't like AEW, but give me a reason why you don't like it. What did you not like? Why did you say woke? In fact, I got very upset because I'm wondering what's wrong with you because you haven't been yourself. Calling me woke and calling a show woke, this is going up today, Monday, the 7th of March. 7th of March. I'm actually going to record this and I'm going to upload it immediately once I edit it and render it out. But I'm saying this to Gettysburg if he sees this. Dude, what's wrong? I'm saying this as someone who actually cares. I know I'm just some guy in front of a camera who has been doing wrestling reviews for a while. But I've spoken to you more than a few times in the comments. I know how you act. Yeah, you like to joke around. Sometimes you like to play. And you give your own opinions. Like I've always said, even in the comment that you haven't commented yet to. It actually upset me to see that you've been doing this more than once, talking about me being woke. Or in this case, AEW wokeness? Dude, what's wrong? What's upset you? Is there a problem at home? Why are you doing that towards me? If there's a problem, if you need someone to say, hey, I'm sorry, I've been upset lately. I said, yeah, I noticed. You don't need to be acting like this towards me. I'm actually one of the few people who doesn't know you that actually cares to see you not feel upset. It'll be okay, whatever it is. But taking it out on somebody is not nice. I don't appreciate it. And I'm saying this to someone that actually I'm saying I care about. So, when you see this, you wonder, what to do? How can it help the person? And for me personally, when you see about what's going on, especially with Impact Wrestling, that show represents something systemic in Impact Wrestling. There's something wrong with it. There's something wrong. And they need to correct it. And when you see the difference between Revolution, that yes, they had their issues. Sometimes they had a little problem with the lighting. The camera work wasn't always perfect. I never said camera work is perfect about anything. But at least they understand the concept that this is about making the presentation for the people at home as just as important for the people at the arena. You could see the camera work. They did a full wide shot like this. Impact. And they got the same type of cameras. As I said, someone didn't understand what they were doing. You're cutting out all the stuff the people at home want to see. Could it be possible that sacrifice may not get a very large number? And if it does, great. But if it doesn't, do you wonder why? If they're all like this instead of like this so we can see what's going on? A lot of people are not fond of that. Hardcore fans will just take it as it is. But as a wrestling reviewer like myself, I got to evaluate it on its lighting, on its audio work, on its camera work, on the wrestling itself, as well as for what was going on for the promo segments, for the interviews. Are the people staying in character? Did anyone get hurt because they did a stupid botch? I may not be the best reviewer there is, but at least I'm an honest one. One that's making sure that I give you a good perspective of what's going on. And when it comes down to this, and I'm going right back to where it was, AEW now is considered number 2. Now. But Impact was number 2 until they found their footing. And now you got WWE, AEW, and a distant Impact Wrestling with no ROH, yes, an MLW, and a New Japan Pro Wrestling, and easily NWA. There's others, but none of them are as pronounced as the ones that are actually being streamed. Most of them that are being streamed don't have a lot of recognition. They just started up. They haven't gotten a lot of recognition unless they merge with somebody else or work with somebody else. But obviously, WWE is always going to be the most top. AEW is second. Impact is still there. Whether I think it needs more work when it comes to production value and its management, it's still there. And I hope they straighten themselves out. And I really hope this Thursday we don't see that crappy work in the camera or the lighting or the audio. Because if it's there, that's going to prove everything I said that someone in production fucked up badly for the next couple of weeks while they taped. But you can tell from all this. And now, with ROH dead, where does this leave pro wrestling? It's a big question. A big question of how pro wrestling is going to be better seeing ROH absorbed into AEW. I say this now. I have no clue if things are going to be better with ROH absorbed into AEW. Maybe it will be. Maybe with the library of the current 3 years of AEW and 20 years of ROH, it may boost it heavily compared to WWE, or it may not even make a damn dent. And I'm not talking about beating WWE, but at least bringing in more new people because they need it. It's not about beating the WWE. Remember what I told you a long time ago. Wrestling promotions have been around for more than 70 years. They've coexisted. They didn't go head to head. One company just worked just like another company, and wrestlers used to drift between them, helping keep the brands going, making some scratch for themselves, making some credibility for themselves, the wrestlers, making some money, making some credibility. And when they've made their moment and they overstayed their welcome, they go to another promotion. And then they start all over again. But now the way that Vince made everything by going head to head with every promotion, and most were destroyed, some got merged, and a few that's still around like NWA because it's the oldest known organizational promotion. I say it again. It's the one on top, and there were over 20 different promotions under it because it had the name recognition as one of the first to allow other promotions to let their title be on, because each promotion had their own title, and they still did. But the major title was the NWA title, and the champion would go to each promotion and spotlight the promotion and help to bring up their own people and their own title. That is how it was. But it's not like that anymore. So it's very hard to see if this is going to help bring more people into the pro wrestling community or not. Because we still got the same general fans. Many of them went over to MMA and UFC. Remember, we lost a huge chunk to White. He took them. So we got to hope that more people will come to watch wrestling and appreciate it. But that's just me, and I hope you enjoyed this Gump report, and I know there was a long one. I hope you enjoyed. And Gettysburg, if you're upset about something, dude, it'll be all right. I may joke around with you and call you WWE guy. I'm not trying to insult you because I don't like you. I'm saying that because, hey, I notice there's something wrong. Are you okay? Please. I don't like being called woke by somebody that I know would never say something like that. Peace.